In this video, I'm going to talk about layer effects, and I'm going to demonstrate using the title in my design. So this is a PNG file, and layer effects will still work. Layer effects work on PNGs best, as a matter of fact, but sometimes they also work on text. To use a layer effect, simply click on the layer you want to work on. In my case, it's the title. And then at the bottom of my layers panel, I'm going to select the button that says EFF. And that will pull up a whole bunch of options. I'm going to start with bevel and emboss. So you can see I will get this whole menu that opens up. And you can see something has already happened to my letters. So what's going on is the computer is assessing the shape of my PNG file, and it's making adjustments to make it look three-dimensional. And I can play around with how these letters look by using my sliders. So you can kind of see as I adjust how the image can change. And I will leave it to you to figure out what looks best on your design, because everyone has different ideas. I'm just going to demonstrate a few of these different effects so you can get an idea for them. And honestly, the best way to learn how to use them and learn what looks good is to just play with them. So play around with these sliders, drag them around, see what happens. Just know that sometimes your computer will be very slow as you play with them, because the computer's doing a lot of work. It's doing fairly complicated stuff. So sometimes there's a bit of a delay while it figures out what it wants to do. If you like what you have and want to keep it, click OK. If you aren't happy with it, just click the X on the window and it will go back to normal. Now, next I'm going to go to Inner Shadow. Inner Shadow won't show up on this image, but if I go to the classroom, so I'm going to go grab one of those images. Here we go. I'm going to open and place the white one. Here it is. It's all the way down at the bottom, so I'll drag it up to the top. There we go. I'll hide my black one for now, and I'll make it bigger so that you can get the full effect. Here we go. Now, if I play with the layer effect on this and play with the inner shadow, something really cool happens where it looks like the letters are casting a shadow underneath them. I think it kind of gives the effect that it's it looks like the letters are cut out of red paper and it's casting onto a white surface underneath it. Again, you can play around with the sliders. When you have what you like, you can click OK. If you don't like it, simply click the X and keep on playing. I could also do this with an inner glow, which sometimes does not work so well with this effect with white. So yeah, it's not liking working with the white, which is fine because sometimes you need to play in order to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So if I go back to the black and try an inner glow, then we can see if it works for the black. Sometimes just play around with the slider, see if you can get it to work. I can't, which means that If I wanted to use Inner Glow, I would switch to a different color and see if I could make it work with that. If I'm not that worried about it, and I'm not, I might just go on to maybe satin and just see what can happen here. You know what? I might go back to the white for this one and play with the satin effect. So this one kind of gives the effect like it's fabric, which is interesting. All right, so you can play around with those sliders. I would skip the color overlay, gradient overlay, and pattern overlay because that runs into issues with our color scheme. You need to make sure any color you use is part of the color scheme we've been given by our client. However, I could use the outer glow. Maybe I want it to glow kind of white, maybe even glow like a lighter version of the red. Okay, you can start to play around with these sliders so we can see it's starting to get a bit of glow around the letters. Maybe bring the opacity down a little bit. I could play with the gradient to make it fade a little bit more. Right? And I can keep playing until I like what I have. The last one is drop shadow, which makes it look like the letters are casting a shadow. Play with the angle of the shadow, the direction that it is cast. You can play with spread of the shadow. As I said before, the best way to see what looks good with your design is to just play with the sliders until you like what you see. That's it for this video.